of Thrones was one of the best TV shows ever made when it started off. The first 3-4 seasons were immaculate, almost flawless. Season 5 ran into a few issues, still really good. Season 6 ran into more issues, still pretty positive. Season 7, some of those cracks were really falling through in my mind. You had some blaring errors, but it still felt like Game of Thrones, even though it had a lot of problems. And, well, we all know what happened with Game of Thrones Season 8. To this day, there are still people in denial that believe that, oh no, it was fine, it was fine, it was fine. Yeah, no, it was not fine. We all know it. It's cope. It's absolute copium. It was the biggest train wreck in probably television history, because there has never been a TV show that has been as good as Game of Thrones. It set a new bar. It set a bar in such a way that said TV shows can be just as good, if not better, than movies. It was immaculate, and then it slowly went down. And if Season 8 would have even remained at the level of Season 7, most people would say, you know what, overall that was a pretty good show. Could have ended a little bit better, but it was pretty good. Season 8 was so horrifically bad. It was the biggest letdown you can imagine out of any single TV show you can think of. It was the biggest kick in the balls you could ever feel. And anyone who defends it, all they have is, I liked it. That's great. That's great if you liked it. And if you're watching this right now and you liked it, that's fine too, of course. But that doesn't mean it's good. Just because you enjoy something doesn't mean that thing is actually good. Season 8 was so objectively bad, it's insane. I mean, the errors, the plot holes, the writing, the cinematography, the constant jumping around, teleportation. It was insane, okay? But no one blamed the actors or the actresses. There were people talking about how, oh, the hate towards the actors and actresses. No. No one really blamed them. They blamed Dumb and Dumber for doing it. Dave and Dave, or whatever their stupid names were. The showrunners. Well, one of the best parts about that show, in my personal opinion, my not so humble opinion, was Tywin Lannister. He was the best. I was okay with the way he died. I thought it makes sense. I thought there could have been things done a little bit better, but he was one of the best characters. And one of the, you know, if you're going to quote someone from Game of Thrones or show their image or scene or something, it's going to be Tywin Lannister. The biggest, coolest dude in that whole show. I mean, he was just like, oh my gosh, this dude is a boss. Well, we have this video here. It is by AV Mind. I haven't watched this video. We're all in agreement, he says. Charles Dance, who is the actor in Game of Thrones Season 8 and ending. So I'd love to know what he says. I have no idea what this is going to be about. But let's see what he has to say. Did you guys know that for most of the people watching YouTube videos, only a small percentage of those people are actually subscribed to those channels? But subscribing is really quick and easy. All you have to do is first to make a YouTube account, which is free, and then after that, go down to the video that you're watching, hit the like button, which goes a long way in helping out the algorithm, and then go over and hit the subscribe button. After you've hit the subscribe button, click the drop down arrow and click the option that says all, so that can notify you whenever a new video from this creator has dropped. Subscribing is free, and making a YouTube account is also free. It allows you to keep up with all of your favorite content creators, and of course it goes a long way in helping out my channel, and I really do appreciate it. So with all of that being said, back to the video.
Hello Charles, thank you for...
You don't need, I can hear you from there.
Great talk today. My question is very much straight to the point. What did you make of the final season of Game of Thrones?
What did he say?
He asked, what did you think of the final season of Game of Thrones? I was not going to ask that question.
I was underwhelmed. I thought after all they've been through, to decide by committee, no. And I've just come back from Puglia. I went to a wedding that lasted 5 days. and it was my daughter's wedding, Lena Headey.
Oh man, his voice is cracking. This poor man's getting old. His voice was not cracking in that TV show. He had a voice like a lion. Holy hell.
In Game of Thrones, that is. Okay? Her second wedding. I hope she gets it right this time. Bless her. And anyway, it was a bit of a reunion because there was Lena, of course, marrying Mark from West Texas. And bless him, Peter Dinklage managed to get there. He's working in Berlin at the moment. And Conleth Hill, who's one of my favorite people. And I mean, all something. Big Sophie, who is now, you know, God, I don't know how old she is, but like Maisie, she started when she was 13 and grew up in Game of Thrones. Just astonishing. So that was really rather wonderful. But we actually were all in agreement that it kind of went off like that.
Okay, so now it comes out because during the time, there were a lot of people that was trying to defend it. Some of those were the actors. They were like, no, it's good. It's so you actually behind the scenes were all in agreement. Interesting.
Go out with a bang.
Yeah.
You know.
That's right.
Slipped away.
Uh-huh.
It's a great pity.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yes, please.
Just
Could you also please say your name? I think it makes it...
speak without the microphone. It's better. Yeah, I can hear you from here.
Okay, yeah. So my name is Adam. First, thank you so much. It's a really great storytelling, and we really enjoyed it. So my question is, like during your entire career, have you ever thought about becoming a director? Since it's pretty common, I think it's definitely not uncommon for people to switch from acting to directing. Have you ever thought about that? Or
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it. I've written, I don't know, 3, 4 screenplays.
Are they going to get back to Game of Thrones? He's going to say more.
One of which got made, principally because I had Judi Dench and Maggie Smith in it. I could have shot the telephone directory with those two.
They're not going to go back into it, are they?
And it was just, I was sitting on a set in Budapest, and a library set. And there was a book of short stories, and I read this one, and I read it again, and I thought, I know exactly how to do that. And because one of the things I did at art school was photography, I like to think that I understand the language of a camera. I know what lenses.
Well, I was going to let the gentleman finish. He is quite a gentleman, isn't he? But did you hear what he said? He's like, we were all in agreement.
We actually were all in agreement that it kind of went off like that. It didn't go out with a bang. It sort of, you know, slipped away, which is a great pity.
It was a great pity. It was such a shame. And everyone knew, and you were so rebuked if you brought this up. Everyone knew that it was because of just, really, they didn't care. They were offered, Dumb and Dumber were offered a deal to do the next Star Wars trilogy. They were getting bored of it. They were getting tired of it. They wanted to speed things up and wrap things up. And so they rushed it. They just threw it together. Their heart was not in that last season. They didn't want to make the best finale they could. What is it called? HBO offered them more seasons. HBO offered Dumb and Dumber more seasons to work out the story, and they turned it down. They rushed it. They could have passed it on to other, people who were passionate. They could have recast. Recasting would have been difficult because a lot of people had grown akin to those actors, and it was going on about a decade at that point. But some of those actors, honestly, at first, whenever they left and during the seasons, if you said, well, we have a Game of Thrones actor on this one, it was a big deal. But now, do you see any of those actors in work? No, you hardly see any of them anymore. And if you do, it's just like, oh, yeah, okay, try to remove the stench of Game of Thrones. And so, in hindsight, it's like, I don't know, maybe a lot of them probably would have been willing to stick on. I don't know. I mean, if you're, you look at all of these actors who stay attached to shows for years and years and years. They don't generally do well outside of those shows and larger, bigger types of movies or things like that. Sometimes there's exceptions, but you look at the actors from like Friends or Supernatural or different things. Sometimes they branch off and do other stuff that's okay, but a lot of times it's like this is what you know them for. If you're going to be known for anything, it would have been Game of Thrones, and that would have been great if they would have stuck the landing and kept it up. They would have been memorialized forever. But like, well, yeah, but check this guy out from Game of Thrones, okay? That's the best TV show ever made. But because of how they ended the show, they screwed it for everyone. Now it's just like crap. And now, thank God, Tywin Lannister was killed off. Spoilers, by, I think, season 4, the end of season 4, 3 or 4, but I think by season 5 he was gone. Thank goodness for that, before they ruined his character utterly. But my goodness, man, like, it really is a travesty. It really is sad. It could have been so much better than what it was. But they got greedy, they got lazy, they got selfish. And you're not going to convince me otherwise. I just think when they applied the writing, which was not George R.R. Martin's writing, he gave them a few pointers. He hasn't even finished the books. Okay, they just filled in the blanks. And when they were sticking to his books and his script, it was good. But then they started filling in the gaps and trying to come up with stuff themselves and speeding it along. Shouldn't have done that. They should not have done that. So it's a shame. It's interesting to hear Tywin Lannister's take, though. And we all knew it. Everyone could see the writing on the wall. Everyone knew, like, this is crap. So, interesting take. Interesting for him to speak out and mention that. What did you guys think? Did you watch the season? Did you watch Game of Thrones? What did you think of season 8? Be honest now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Really do appreciate it. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great freaking day.